Yo, Tony D back with some more indie action. We're talking Spawn and Terminator. Man, it don't get no better than that. What a pair. What a pair. Actually, it's a mega micro review. So I went ahead and bought the variant cover. I just thought that was cool. I've also seen, I think in the past, I've seen some covers like that. But Shalvey, man, he's on top of this Terminator stuff. The stories are really good. This one is very surprising, and we're going to get to that. So, this is Metal. They're kicking off. I believe I don't know if it's like the series before this. I don't know if that's ending and this is just the continuation. But this right here is a new character. So, if you're into key issues, this is definitely one. This is Tex. He is a Terminator, as you'll find out, that is helping the humans, believe it or not. So we've seen that before, right? Where a T-800, it's been reprogrammed. It's totally logic, right? Like it's not emotional, but you get that sense sometimes, don't you? Like with the movies, you always had this weird feeling like, man, it's more than a machine. It really cares. Like it's really one of us type deals. So Shalvey, he's fixing to show you what it's all about. So they're giving you the history of how they came upon this T-800 model. And, they reprogram it. And they call him an asset. I'm saying him, you know what I mean? Like he becomes an asset to the resistance. And he makes this comment right here, and this is important. He's like, Tex is my friend. We'll get to that. Artwork holds up. I dig it. So Shalvey does a great job with the whole how it's analyzing things. And it's figuring out they were being drawn out, and he's figuring out what Skynet has, pretty much tricked them. And I mean, boom, there's a blast. And this isn't Tex. So it's really clever how they put the red stripe there. That way, and I would assume the resistance would, we need a way to identify our dude. And this is not him. And Tex lets him have it. What a sound, zeb, zeb, zeb. It's pretty cool, man. So, you're getting that typical robot response. I calculate 21 interactions that were, it's just, he really gets into there. So this is Professor Dalton, who's our narrator. So here's more of that acting like, not acting, but he really believes that this is a friend. He's emotional with this Terminator. So there's a device that they have to transport for the resistance. It's not really important what it is. That is the mission. So they're scanning for survivors. So there's a couple that they're scanning. So here we have our survivors. So I believe these aren't part of Dalton's group. And they're not. They're different. So they're talking about what just happened. And so he gives an explanation of their mission. They're headed in the same way. And they have some data that they need to get to command ASAP, which it's the mission. They had raided a Skynet facility. So it's really important to the mission. So there's some paranoia creeping up here where, they were in a trap and this guy is like, maybe he's not on our side. Maybe he is tipping them off. They do a great job with you're not giving expressions because it's obviously a machine, but I don't know. Maybe there's something to it that's really good. It is very robotic, but there's something about, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it's a great job by the artist. It's very mission oriented. And there's more interaction, man. They're building up, they're connecting us to these humans here with this narration. You know, we're getting connected with them and what they're going through. You know, you're getting, you know, he's really a good guy. He's just been through this and that. You're getting that type of stuff, but it's really important that you're getting connected here. Tex actually raises a concern about Amos. He's the guy that has that paranoia. So, and Tex is like saying, hey, man, this guy is slowing us down, and he's given the like the statistics. And then Tex like permit, you know, he's requesting permission to rectify. And it's really cold. Like he's like, huh? And he tells him okay. And it's very ominous. Like this right here, it's very important what you're looking at. Like the artist and Shalvey, they do a fantastic job of with the impact of the images. You need assistance. So he's gonna carry him. That's what he's talking about. But I had this feeling like, is that what he was talking about? And then he comes, this is important too, where he's like, you're risking mission success, you know, comply. So he's making his plea, the professor, that, you know, hey man, he's just trying to help us, you know, let him help you. It's what he was programmed for, is to help humans. And Amos is just like, forget it. And he's like, he's very like the statistics, like he's given all these statistics about the mission. I mean, yeah, there's just something about like, it's very, I mean, it's just rendered extremely well. And he's trying to help that dude. And it's like, boom, that's a potty mouth panel. You're like, oh shit. So that was Cooper. So now I'm pretty sure that was like a mine. And so this guy, the paranoid dude's like, you know, why didn't you warn him? He was like, insufficient time. But you know that, you know, where would your head be in a situation like that? They do a fantastic job of the parent, like every character there really is important to the ending of this story, where, you know, Amos, the paranoid guy, the Professor Dalton, is like friends with the Terminator. The other guy was pretty level-headed. He was kind of in between Amos and the professor. You know what I mean? He was kind of a balance there, and now that's gone. So he's given more. They have to go through this building. It's extremely dangerous. So it's either go through there, or there's other areas with machine presence that it's just too dangerous. And so the paranoid, I mean, that's his name now, right? The paranoid guy. And he's convinced that Tex is trying to kill him. Like, he presents a very compelling statement there, man, argument, leading you into an ambush, not telling Cooper about the mine. Now it's like, hey, he's going to march us into a death trap. And this is very important here as well. He's like, okay, look, I don't know if you're in shock, but that's ridiculous. You know, Tex isn't trying to kill us. Are you, Tex? He's like, negative. You know, his mission is to return the Skynet files to Central Command. So, I mean, he's telling the truth. Oh, this is so fantastic how the dialogue is so integral to what we get in the ending. You know, what if this is the only way it can do it within its programming? That's interesting. Raises a lot of, I mean, even present day questions about AI. And he's even telling him, man, stop calling him Tex. Like, it's not your pet. And he's just like, man, I'm going on. And Tex is like, no, if the machines find you, it could endanger the mission. Now remember, the mission is important. He's like, you must continue with us. And he's like, and then, man, here you go. So he shoots Tex, and you get the standoff here. And then here he goes again. It's like, if you point that at my friend again, you know, I'll blow your head off. And he's like, your friend? Are you insane? Wow. And then you get the Zeb. That's pretty intense. You know what I mean? It's a Terminator, right? For a minute there, I thought Tex did that. No, What a great way to lead your audience. So the doctor, man, he gets wounded pretty bad, and I love this cinematic paneling. Whenever I see paneling like that, it's very cinematic, and then this very compressed really adds to the tension of what's going on, and it's pretty tense right now. So they're going in for the kill, and Tex saves his friend, and he's like, one of these days, I'm really going to need to start saving you. And so he's like, all right, come on, let's go. And Tex isn't doing anything, and he's analyzing the doctor, and it's like significant blood loss, injuries fatal if unattended, calculating potential delay to mission completion. And he's like, hey man, give me a hand up. And Tex is like, no. So like, here's your deal. He gives him the analytics of his chance of survival, rescue, and he reiterates the mission. With all that, it drops below 10%. And like the dude is like, I mean, he's crushed, right? He's been calling it his friend. And there was a lot of buildup there to where, like, okay, yeah, it could be your friend. So he tells him cold, straight, very cold, like, it's necessary to leave you, but do not worry. He's talking about the files, the mission. And I wonder, he turns back. I wonder if he ended him, but that's what was important with all that brilliant narration from Shalvey. He really sets it up where, I mean, it's just brilliant with the characters that they run into. And there's that, the paranoid guy. Yeah, that's his name. The guy that was kind of in the middle between the doctor and the paranoid guy. And it's just brilliant writing. Shalvey's really good, man. Check something out with him, but man, you Terminator fans, this is it. So I'm curious if this is going to be like an anthology based, like the first series was, I thought they were all separate stories, but really they all connected in a way. So we'll see, man. We'll see what's going on. And Spawn 369. We're dealing with the fallout of hell attacking heaven. What a concept. So now you have Spawn. He's creating an alliance with someone that just could not care one bit about humanity. It's a very uneasy alliance with, this person just wants to maintain a status quo, but does not care about humanity. So it provides a serious conflict with Spawn. This issue really, man, it's a slow burn, but there's high stakes. So this character, he can resurrect Maljamboa. Like, I hope I'm saying it. He has that ability. That's going to be crazy if that happens. Man, look at that artwork. I think it's Brett Booth. Yeah, man, Brett Booth. He's good. McFarlane ain't going to have anyone that sucks on his books, that's for sure. So they're kind of rehashing what's happened, where sin wants to take everything. So he brings out what this person really looks like. It's pretty cool, man. McFarlane, like the whole heaven hell thing in this series is like, it's really brilliant. Like it makes you think. So sin kind of gives him like, hey, I'm in charge. Dude, I love this team that he's assembled. Like they're getting more, McFarlane is getting more, Spawn forever was just like very singular, it was just Spawn, and then you would have an antagonist, when it first started out way back, in 92. But now you're getting more into like groups and teams, which, man, is really cool. Like, I totally dig this. So, yeah, man, like, it's pretty intense. One thing I'll admit, I never read those. I don't like it, man. It's just the news. But there's your Tony D confession. I totally skipped that. I like action in my Spawn books. I don't want to read a bunch of, what the world thinks of Spawn. Maybe it's important. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. There's more dialogue of, oh wow. Oh yeah, this gets real high stakes. Spawn is really, he's got to figure out if this alliance he's developing is worth maintaining, a balance. Is it worth compromising his ideals? Because Spawn does have that. And this conflict of, there's always with Spawn, it's like, what's his role? Is he a protector or a pawn? That's a very strong theme in the Spawn books. So they're in this, like these creepozoids, they're like in this laboratory. They're like operating on, like, you got angels, like, I mean, this demons and angels working together. This whole universe is pretty fantastic. And, oh man, you just get lost. Brett Booth is fantastic. And Spawn needs these guys, believe it or not. And he's like, he just puts it there, man. You all know who I am, what I'm capable of. So put down your tools. Spawn is always great with that directness. Yeah, now they're like begging, don't. And he even says, I don't give a shit. So he threatens Blood as like a leader of the vampires, and he's using that as leverage to get what he wants out of these guys. He's like, pretty much like, I won't tell on you if you do what I want. And he's like, you're going to operate on me. And they're like, what? So he wants these wings put on him. Like he's going to be awake during the whole thing. So he pretty much, I mean, they got to do what he does. And I'm not totally, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That's badass. So you have a recipe of symbiote, hellspawn, and the eternity of a vampire. So now you're really looking at the vampiric spawn. That's really great. So if you're in the keys, I would consider that a key. The vampiric spawn. Yeah, man. Brett Booth. Fantastic artwork. I don't give Spawn enough love on the channel, but man, I totally need to. It's a heck of a ride, man. Like these concepts of heaven and hell, and McFarlane has made such a universe. It's incredible. Boom, we're still going. We have more Spawn special issue. This is 50. And from my research, there's going to be a 50-50-50. It's going to span between King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and Scorched. So every issue 50 it's like tied together. We'll see how that works. But I'm trying to, like, I can't really remember where, like, there's been this whole, they had this huge battle with this monstrosity from hell, and like a bunch of people came together, like a bunch of the like heroes, villains, whatever you want to call it in the Spawn universe. They had to come together, which revealed to the world that, I mean, think about this. There's like 369 issues of the Spawn title, and now the world is just now finding out all these things exist. That's incredible. Totally love all these characters. Scorched, I read Scorched as well. It's a good book, good team book for all this. So they're dealing with really the government's knowing about them, and like they're trying to figure out how to stay off the government's radar. Like they really need to figure out how to keep their whereabouts secret, things of that nature. You know the drill. And they're even in discussions of, well, who's the good guys and the bad guys? Like you really don't know, which is really cool. Sets up some future narration, some mystery. You could have a lot of betrayal, things of that nature. It's like, it's cool, man. I'm totally down with it. Man, Spawn is really heating up. Like I feel like it was really a slow burn there for a while, but man, when they ramped up, I mean, it's like boom, you know what I mean? It's like going up. You really can't lose with Spawn, but I guess you got to be into that kind of stuff. Oh, dude, totally love that almost looks like McFarlane's, cape work. So he's still dealing with vampires. This is really kind of like a cleanup issue. I'm calling it cleanup, but it's kind of like they just got off of a huge arc. So now we're kind of, the future narration is set up. This is interesting right here. So that's actually medieval Spawn. That's the human that hosts the Spawn. And this character right here has medieval Spawn's helmet. So this is kind of a mystery. We'll see what this sets up. So it almost looks like maybe it's a trap. We'll see. And then you kick in the chapter 4. Oh, this is nuts. It's not the person that she thinks it is. Gosh, it's so like I really don't know what's going on here, but it's just crazy. Like the artwork is pretty good, man. Okay. So the true form of this thing comes out. Gosh. So this thing was inside of him and it released itself. Oh, wow. Man, look how gory that is. Gosh, man. I can't imagine having that ability to draw like that. So this character is called Plague. I don't think it's a new character, but so Mammon, he's a pretty big character in the Spawn universe. He's from a dark dimension. Yeah, you're getting real dark celestial type activity. So it's almost like he wants to make it smarter. So that Plague, it does need a host. He pretty much tells him who's the boss. So he makes you're the only Hellspawn, that was never given a human host. Yeah, he's manipulating Plague. I believe he's going to go after Spawn. Spawn meets up with She-Spawn. But is it? So this is the ambush. I totally love when Spawn fights people, man. It's like great action. Look at the paneling. There's that cinematic, angular, just reflecting the action that's going on. He always has battles where you're just like, he just takes a beating and you're like, how is he going to get out of this? And he always finds a way. Hellspawn, do not kill Hellspawn. So I wonder if he kills Plague, I wonder what the penalty is. But yeah, man, that's where we end. So Spawn is it's ramping up for me. Like, I'll have to get on Gunslinger Spawn. I collect Scorch, so I'll have that one. But I never got into Gunslinger Spawn, but I'll pick it up just to follow this. It's worth it for me. So there you go, man. Can you trust a T800? Let me know.